plastic, it's lifting, it's curling, it's contracting, right? It's shrinking. And so that's what's happening. So as the plastic cools, right, the polymer chains are tightening up. And as it shrinks and tightens up, some part has to give, right? And so that's what's happening. And so it's going to curl. So to prevent that, Hybrid Robotics says, I am squishy. I have no reason to doubt you, Hybrid. How's Snooki doing? All right. And so that's what's happening. So as it's cooling, it begins to contract, it begins to lift from the build plate. Okay. So how do we counteract that? There's a couple of different things that we need to do. One is adhesion, bed adhesion, right? So we need that polymer to stay warm, and we need to keep it nice and tight to the build plate. If your build plate is at 90, that is way too warm for PLA. If you're at 90, that could actually be a reason why it's lifting. But anyway, so what you're going to want is you're going to want to basically get your first layer, a nice clean build plate. Make sure it's leveled, right? Because leveling the build plate is going to just make sure that you have an equal amount of surface for that first layer, surface grip or attachment to the build plate. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to make sure that the bed is trimmed or leveled the best that you can. Make sure the build plate is cleaned as well as you can get it with isopropyl alcohol. Clean it. Depending on your build surface, you could use some glue stick, some PVA glue, like Elmer's glue stick. Amazon has big boxes of bulk glue stick that you can use. But PLA Plus, not sure what the plus is. Most PLA Plus just means that there's additives that make it a little bit stronger and make it a little bit more resilient to like shattering and damage. So like for instance, these are printed in a PLA Pro, right? So in other types of PLA, if you did that, you would just break it and shatter it. Like if you dropped it on its feet, like see its feet, right? Other PLAs would crack and break and shatter, and so PLA Pluses, tough PLAs, PLA Pros, things like that, they normally have additives that make it a little bit more pliable, flexible, if you will, without just not as brittle. We'll say that. Okay, the Real Mark U of U, the Real Mark Pro. I like the Real Mark U of U. That was my vote. I don't know. The guy who's giving you the filament, you'd think his vote would count. Apparently not. So anyway, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that your build plate's cleaned and that adhesion is going to be your issue. So then the next thing is after it's cleaned, you're going to want to make sure that your first layer is squished down as tight as you can get it. And I mean, I don't worry about, like I said, people are all concerned about elephant's foot or making sure that, you know, that the first layer is precisely what their slicer says it's supposed to be. I don't worry about that. I don't mess around. I print a lot, and I don't mess around with dialing in a first layer like that. I just don't have print failures with bed adhesion issues very often because I just squish the heck out of that first layer, right? So 90. So there you go. Glass transition of PLA is 80C-ish, is what Aaron F. Geared is saying. 90C on the bed will definitely be the problem. 60C is what you want. 60C is about the good number for PLA. DJ Rocky says, clean build plate makes it worse. I found cleaning it, leveling it, and applying a smooth layer of glue stick works good. If all else fails, use 3D glue in the problem area. DJ Rocking, that can be true. It depends on the build place, on the build surface. But yeah, glue stick can definitely be an aid. And glue stick, PVA glue works both. We call it like an interface. And so it works good for holding the print down when it's warm, and then also allows it to release when it's cool. So, but anyway, make sure your first layer is squished down really tight. Really just, I mean, I'm talking tight. I like that first layer like so squished down you can't imagine, and then go from there. Second thing, while you're printing, all right, this is going to be rather important, drafts. So I don't know where you are at in the world, but as we move through this season in the world, everybody in chat is going to start to catch this. As we move into this time of the year, you're going to see that our chat is going to be filled with a lot more questions about adhesion, curling, and warping. And our Discord is going to have lots of questions and prints that are curled and warped. Now, why would that be the case? I'll let chat answer. Why would this time of the year, why would we begin to start to see all sorts of warping and curling with 3D prints? Yep. Do you think winter, 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 winter? Hello again. Oh, there. Wait. Mark, you have you.